Breaking news, VTubers in trouble. The VShojo downfall has begun, and lock in those stocks early because it's only gonna snowball and get worse from here. Now, with the release of Iron Mouse's official statement, where the company allegedly scammed her of a significant amount of money and stole $500,000 from charity, which is a unique type of evil. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Apparently, VShojo staffers were doxing their own talent. Some members haven't been paid since last September. Everyone is coming out of the woodwork, and it's only gonna go down from there. The organization has lost like 10 members in the last 2 weeks, including Amelie, who literally just joined. And worst of all, this is probably the most egregious thing that has come to light. Tectone just left too. This is horrible. Baldman is in trouble, and only half the reason is his airline. Now, there's still a lot of information that is yet to be released, and as time goes on, we'll see more things come to light, because right now, we're just on the outside looking in. But if you've been tapped into the VTuber space since basically its inception, you probably know that this downfall was absolutely expected. Like a couple years ago, when Vebe, Neaners, and Silverveil left. But honestly, there's been more red flags. Ever since VShojo threw Nux under the bus, I knew exactly how backwards this company is. But with that, let's get into the news. Now, first we got Giga, who gives more of a behind-the-scenes explanation of what exactly went down with Iron Mouse. Because I know a lot of us are kind of in the dark. Like, yeah, they did these terrible things, scammed her of a lot of money allegedly, stole money from her charity allegedly, but that can't be the only thing, so let's see what she has to say.
Yeah, I knew she was working on it and all that, so this is not like a sudden piece of news for me, but it will be for you guys. You guys know I have already left. I left on, June 27th, so I've been gone for a couple weeks. Don't post anything that she said in the chat. I'm gonna say it, because I want to make sure details are right, okay? All right, so I'll just echo it. So, there are a lot of things that have gone on in the background. I'm gonna turn alerts off, by the way, real quick, just before I forget. There we go. There have been a lot of things that have gone on in the background that I have been completely unable to talk about. Completely unable to say.
Wow, that's terrible.
I've wanted to.
Like, actually imagine that. Having all this information, having all these life-changing events that affect you, and you can't speak about any of it. And the thing is, like, she's not the only one. This is just one person among a mob of people who've been affected by one company. So, again, she's probably going to dance around a lot of the information here, just because legally she has to. But as time goes on, we'll get a lot more information, and it's going to get crazy.
But that's been, like, legally just not a thing I should do. So finally, someone who is able to say those things has said them, and it's good. There is a lot more.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you guys understand how crazy the situation is, because Iron Mouse was the face of VShojo. She brought in so much money for that company, and it's because she's a great entertainer. She's a great content creator. So of course, like, you know, the persona that she's built is going to attract a lot of positive attention. But with that same token, if something bad happens, it's going to attract a lot of negative attention. And that's exactly what we're seeing now. She's the domino. Everything else is going to fall after.
There's a lot to be said, but that is what can be said at this moment in time, especially because it's stuff that pertains to Mouse in particular, you know, so it's her situation that she can speak on. I'll just echo some of the stuff that she said in her video, but she posted a video on YouTube on it if you want to see. She feels very misled on a lot of things and has been misled. I will add, I've felt this way as well. Absolutely. I did also see a lot of writing on the wall of a lot of things, but until I felt I had solid reasoning to say this is true, I didn't want to move on anything, obviously. And then over time, I found out that certain things were in fact true, and I went, oh no, and decided to leave.
That's good. It was a good decision, because if the ship is sinking, you don't want to sink with it. Especially if they mislead you, they lie to you, they do you dirty. Like, you should not have any obligation to a company. And going back to Iron Mouse, the fact that they were gaslighting her into staying, saying things like, oh, if you leave, the company's gonna fail. Well, shit. It just sounds like it's a bad company then.
I tried to say really hard, really clearly, hey, this is just a small piece of what I can talk about. There are other reasons, but these are just the things I can say. I absolutely meant it when I said there's other stuff, other reasoning that I can't say, and that is, you know, this is some of it. This is some. Again, the word some. This is some of it. So I just feel really relieved because it's not stuff that I could say. The TLDR for some of the stuff that Mouse has revealed today, that is stuff that I've been absolutely disgusted by for some time. She is owed a significant amount of funds that she hasn't been paid. Okay, this is what she's revealing. I'm not going to talk about anyone else's situations. I'm just going to say this because this is what she's already said, and I don't want to out anything that I can't out.
And so here's the crazy thing. They're doing this to Iron Mouse, who's the top talent in this agency. They're doing it to everybody. But I think Kason hasn't been paid since September. And again, also a pretty massive content creator for VShojo. So if they're doing this to some of their top people, there's no question that they're doing it to the people at the bottom, because they probably don't care about them at all. Let's keep it real. You know, you're definitely going to care more about your top earners. So, wow, what a crazy situation. Let's switch gears. Let's go to Tech Zone, because he has a lot more inside information, you know, things that he personally was privy to. So let's see what Mr. Baldman has to say
on this whole drama, and we're going to talk about it. First up is Shibuya Kaho, which is, and I'd like to quote, "This person moved from a noted VTuber company," which, by the way, this post has been confirmed to be a VShojo staff. A VShojo staff member. This has been confirmed to be a VShojo staff member, bragging about his new income. "He thrusted me a few of his new business cards to give to my good context. I found the action obnoxiously rude, but maybe he was too young and friendly to know better. Then the motherfucker wanted to meet up for the tax advice because I'm a native in Japan and I hired an accountant. I was asked to have dinner in his area, which was quite far from me, splitting the bill. That day I got convinced I didn't like the guy. Yet, because I love the talents he worked with, I was only secretly hoping he would lose his job one day. Recently, I heard from another creator that he was showing photos of VTubers' real selves while revealing their personal info like a marital statue."
Yeah, that's the level of incompetence that is at this company. Like, what the hell? Part of the reason why people become VTubers is because of the privacy. You know, they don't want their personal information getting out there. They like being able to make content without having to reveal their actual identities. And, you know, it should be up to the person, the individual, if they want to expose themselves online to show people who they actually are. Not the company. Not people who are supposed to be acting on your behalf. This is disgusting. This is terrible.
Yes, guys, we have official VShojo staff leaking one's likeness and leaking their marital status to complete fucking strangers. So VShojo's own employees were doxing their very own clients. Yes, guys, welcome to VShojo, the worst company that everybody who's been telling you that it's great had no idea what they're talking about. And welcome to the internet, where those who have no idea what the fuck they're talking about are pushed into the algorithm, and everybody telling you the truth is...
Yeah, that's like the craziest propaganda too. The fact that VShojo was able to get away with such a positive self-image for the last couple of years, despite the fact that they're doing all these terrible things behind the scenes. You know, people always call down Niji Sanji, potentially even Hololive under certain circumstances for the way that they treat their talents. And lo and behold, they're all terrible. They're all, in my opinion, they're all terrible.
Yes, the reason why they don't want you to listen to us is because they are afraid of us. I have been warning everybody about this shit for years, and I can't wait to see Nux Taku's video following up on this. I now wanted to find another way to warn other employees. Today I've learned the most despicable shit the company has done to their talent. Don't know if he's involved with it, yet all my personal grudge is nothing compared to such betrayal. Sometimes, unfortunately, managers or agencies can be the talent's worst enemy. Please always support the talent. Talent first. Absolutely. Support independent VTubers, and these companies need to understand, and I'm going to break the...
Yeah, what Tecton's about to say, these companies are nothing without their talent. The agencies don't build the talent, it's the talent that builds the agencies. So, because of that, you have to make sure that you're treating them well. You're treating them not just like products, but actual human beings. But time and time again, it's never the case, you know? At the end of the day, all these companies really care about is making money, making sure that their bottom line is healthy. It's crazy. It's a crazy situation, and I feel bad for everybody involved.
OTK is nothing without Asmon. VShojo is nothing without Iron Mouse. Guys, AMP is nothing without Kai. These organizations need to understand they do not build the talents. The talents build them. And
Exactly.
these companies and the people who work for these companies need to get their ego checked because they do not have as much control as they think they do. K-Sun talking with the CEO on Qutting VShojo.
I quit VShojo today.
はい
VShojo 辞めます今日。
はい
はい、31日予定でしたけど、今日辞めます。I quit.
We have more. We have K-Sun Air, Haruka, Henya, and Hime removing VShojo from their Twitter profile names, and fuck anybody who has ever wronged Haruka, one of the sweetest VTubers in the entire space, as well as K-Sun, two of the sweetest VTubers in the entire space, and they are actively, and it's going to break my heart when I have to hear whatever horror stories Haruka has herself.
Yeah, Haruka specifically, I don't know too much about K-Son, but I know a bit about Haruka. Literally, one of the nicest people I've ever seen as a content creator. So the fact that they're going to do that to such nice people, it's so over for this company. And not just in terms of their actual business operations, but expect a lot of lawsuits to unfold over like the next couple months.
Absolutely despicable behavior, treating your talent like shit, doxing them, revealing their marital status, scamming $500,000 from charity, and it gets worse. So in case you guys don't know, well, let me just go ahead and give you some lore here. Good thing I trusted my gut feeling when VShojo tried to recruit me. Their contact was riddles and red flags and basically legal robbery. This makes me sick to my stomach. Please, if you can, support Mouse and the IDF.
Yeah, so if you don't know about like the contracts that, these people signed for VShojo, I know a bit about it. Not too much, I don't know all the details, but from my understanding, these were like 60-40, maybe even 80-20 contracts, where 80% is going to the organization, and 20% or 40%, whatever the number is going back to the VTuber. Again, between 60 and 80, pretty big difference, but the common denominator is that the contract was much more weighted in favor of the organization rather than the VTuber. The big problem is that most of these VTubers don't understand contract law. They're just people who are given a great opportunity, from what it seems like at least, and are going to take that opportunity and try and become successful out of it. Maybe their career is going to get better, whatever. This is their meal ticket. This is the way that they're going to eat. And so they're not really thinking too much about the contract. What they're thinking about is, wow, this is going to change my life forever. And so if you don't understand the legal jargon within these contracts, there's things that you're going to miss. You're not going to realize that you're getting screwed over until it's too late. And from my perspective, this is more or less what happened to most people across the board when they were signing with VShojo. And just a side thing, what does VShojo even bring to the table? Whatever VShojo does, they could have accomplished independently and made more money. They could have been more successful. For all you know, VShojo is holding them back from being better versions of themselves. It's crazy. But hey, anything to make money. Cheat, lie, manipulate, exploit your talent. It's all in the name of the game, right?
You see this word gut feeling? Now, did you guys know that I have a little bit of I'm bilingual. I'm bilingual, in case you don't know.
Oh, no way.
In case you don't know. And wouldn't it just be a shame if maybe I had the ability to talk to whales? And maybe
Look at bro go. Let's cook.
Maybe did some crisis prevention to
No,
the
you probably
whales before they...
I totally believe it too. Like, Tectone has been so involved in the VTuber space for so many years. Whatever you know about Tectone, whatever controversy he's in, just know that he always has the interests of content creators at heart, and he proves that with action, not with words. So, good job, Bald Man. I knew you could do it.
Connor, Sea-Dog VA, Sea-Dog Virginia, weighs in. Well, VShojo better get cycling and start raising some money.
That's savage.
Yeah, because they are going bankrupt, brother. They are going bankrupt, brother. I would love, You know, maybe I'll do a cycling stream where we all raise money for VShojo. So maybe then we can actually get staff and CEO that actually gives a fuck about their talents and not scamming. I was about to say stupid girls, but that's insensitive for for scamming girls that don't know better on the internet because they're VTubers and VTubers aren't allowed to talk. And it's a fucking shame. And I hate it because they can't help that they're ignorant because in the VTuber space, you can't talk about shit. It sucks. We'll use the word naive.
It's terrible. It's so bad. Because again, you also got to think about it like this. VTubers are treated much more differently than regular content creators are who sign with other agencies or organizations. And that's because VTubers are more aligned with, idol groups because that's where they blew up. They blew up in Japan. They're treated more like idols than they are content creators. And if you know anything about the idol industry, it's about as morally bankrupt as it gets. They really abuse their talent. They really exploit their talent there. It's really terrible. Even just having a boyfriend is a big no-no. And that's why it's good that the ball's rolling now.
Michi and Amelie all remove VShojo from their tags. Every single one of them. We have now lost 9 members, 10 members in the past 2 weeks. You have lost 10 members in the past 2 weeks. And Amelie just joined, brother.
Yeah, that's so bad.
You are done.
Yeah, that's terrible. When the turnover is 2 weeks for your company, good luck.
You are done. You are kaput. We have even more. Zentreya weighs in. Oh, we also have another one. Bay virus. We have even more. Here we go. Based, they removed VShojo from their name. VShojo's finished. Keisan gone. Okamoto gone. Yutori gone. Akatsuki gone. Hestia Happiness gone. Haruka gone. Kuro gone. Fruit gone. Hime gone. Michi gone. Amelie gone. Henya gone. Just to name a few. Guys, there's more. Zentreya weighs in. Here we go. My heart hurts for the VShojo community, as I know some of you are very confused and hurt. These have been very super confusing months for many of you, and I know you've all been trying to weather it out. Support those who you can, and please stay strong. Yeah. Now, I want to remind you guys, this is a very difficult time because I'm just going to be real. VShojo has NDA'd multiple people from saying what it is they want.
Exactly.
There are attorneys involved. There are lawyers involved. There are lawsuits involved. And this is going to be a very difficult thing. But I promise you, when these girls figure out the ability to say what they want to say, and I mean this genuinely, you'd think doxing their faces, you'd think doxing their marital status, you'd think taking their sub revenue would be bad. You would think taking their income would be bad. You would think taking $500,000 from charity would be bad. I mean this genuinely, guys. Y'all haven't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what else there is in store, but it's going to be pretty crazy, and I'll be there every step of the way giving you updates. But with that, let's move on to the next and final aspect of this video, which is Nux. Now, Nux is a pretty controversial guy. I think most of you guys know that. But that doesn't discount any of the things that he's gone through. It doesn't discount the things that he's been through with VShojo. And in my opinion, this was the first red flag. This was the first time I saw the company for what it was. And if they're going to treat a person like Nux like this, who was very established, who collaborated with a lot of the creators at the time, and just threw him under the bus, then what did you expect they were going to do with everybody else who signs on? They don't care about people. They just don't. They only care about themselves. So let's get into the Nux situation.
One of the first major and most confusing controversies Nux faced.
This was my worst controversy. Absolutely. To this day, this was still my worst controversy.
Was in 2021 with VShojo. Conveniently not long after he debuted, VShojo is a VTubing agency with many of the juggernauts of the VTubing scene under their belt.
True.
Like Iron Mouse, Project Melody,
True.
Zentreya,
Well, not anymore. Now they're done.
Fruit, and many more being added to this day. However, even before the events occurred, Nux and the talent of VShojo were on good terms. They created
More than good terms, bro. I platformed them when they just started out, all of them. That's the...
It's true. Because I watched a lot of Nux's content back in the day. I still watch his videos from time to time, but especially, during this era, this is how I came to know all these VTubers. It was through Nux. They collaborated on almost every single one of his videos. This was more than just a betrayal. This was more than just Nux getting thrown under the bus. This was cataclysmic.
The craziest part. I platformed all the VShojo people. Well, not all, but a lot of them. Melody, Iron Mouse, for sure, absolutely.
Created content together, interacted in the cesspool that is Twitter.
Ooh. Ooh.
And just all around seemed to have a good relationship. However, in 2021, somebody was targeting VShojo, and were
Well, sort of. They were targeting other people, not directly VShojo.
pretending to be VShojo
Yeah.
in order to gather VTubers' personal information to harass, dox, and even swat them.
True.
Some of the emails appeared like they were coming from VShojo recruitment, and one specifically was sent to an indie VTuber, where they essentially thought their dreams were coming true, and they were asked to join VShojo, but first they would have to put all their information in which the police then...
So, again, for extra context, they didn't just make believe they were VShojo and ask for your information. They gave you fake contracts, the Doxer team. They made fake contracts that they would get you to sign. All right? So, when you sign a contract because you thought you were joining VShojo and your life is changing, you are putting in your information.
And the worst thing about this, VShojo knew this was going on. And they pretty much did nothing.
because they had just been swatted. Nux had received the same email, but he knew it wasn't VShojo. He got in contact with the VShojo management team and...
But again, the only reason why I knew it wasn't VShojo was because I directly messaged the CEO of VShojo and was like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, we know about this. There is a guy that's using our name that's doxing people.
Okay, then make a public statement. Let people know that this is going on so innocent people don't get caught up in this business. But they didn't. They just let it happen because they wanted to save face. That's all they cared about was public perception.
Cybersecurity team to tell them what was happening and that potentially more VTubers are going to fall victim to this. But
this is my message. Yeah, for sure.
VShojo was already aware this was happening and were doing their own investigation. Nux.
All right, so I'll be clear here. At this point, from my perspective, I'm just going to try to explain a little more context from my perspective. At this point, I was aware that VShojo knew about this guy using their name, messaging people to try to get their information to dox and swat them. Why the fuck, at this point, did VShojo not make this public?
Exactly. Like if something is not only affecting your company, but affecting innocent people, make a statement about it. Let them know that this is happening. Don't just sweep it under the rug and pretend it doesn't exist.
Why didn't VShojo just say, yo, people are using our name, they're going around, they're emailing people, they're trying their best to get their info to swat them. Don't fall for it if they come from the wrong domain, all right? If they come from vshojo.org, they're not real. If they come from vshojo.com, it is real. Just letting you know in advance. But they didn't do that. They didn't want to make an announcement because they didn't want the PR move. Just making this clear. I still think that they put people in danger by doing this. Again, this is water under the bridge. It's ancient history drama. Don't bring this up. It doesn't matter. I'm just letting you know.
Began his own investigation by providing the wrong information to the email so they would contact him.
True.
And at one point they even flexed they had his information in a Discord server for some reason.
True.
Which was provided to Nux by one of his apparent fans.
There's sources of info that I got, which are kind of hilarious. This dude was flexing that he got my real name and phone number, which he didn't, and he was posting it in his Discord servers, and one of the people in the Discord server that he was posting it was a fan of mine.
Nux was working on a full video covering this topic and spreading awareness about it. The VShojo's cybersecurity team and management knew about this video being made.
Yeah, so they approved the video basically before I put it out. VShojo even said at Nux Taku, thank you Nux for working with us, right? They tweeted this out before, like as my video came out, they said thank you Nux Taku for working with us.
Yeah, so like this was a collaborative effort between Nux and VShojo. They worked together to bring this guy to justice and to make sure that this problem would not continue. They thanked him, Nux put out the video with their consent, and it was also supposed to be fine. You know, that's how it should have been. It should not have been more than that.
And were communicating directly with Nux about the video through things like Discord, and he even showed them the video before it was released.
True.
This also involved one of the VShojo talents that was never named.
Well, at this point, she was named, but I don't need to get into that now. It was named. By the way, again,
Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it was Project Melody. She was the one who was affected by this. But again, I could be wrong. That's just what I heard.
I blurred this out when I showed receipts for my innocence. Someone else accidentally revealed who it was. It was not me. I did not ever reveal who was part of this. I didn't want hate to go to anyone else. Just making this
Someone
clear.
is out there impersonating VShojo, the massive VTuber group. They tried to steal my info, dox me, and swat me, and they've successfully done this to many, many other VTubers. This is not
Now, to Nux's credit, the video promptly spread awareness about the situation,
Yeah, the number one most important thing to do.
potentially saving more indie VTubers
Yeah.
that would want to join VShojo,
Yeah.
and just spreading awareness about general cybersecurity etiquette.
Yeah.
Yes, if you received an email from Jackman saying you're the top 1% of jackers, and they want to deliver your own personal golden encrusted flashlight, they just need you to fill out all your personal information.
Okay, guys, I might be cooked there. I did not know that. Oh no, I gotta contact my lawyers now.
We're probably lying to you, but you'd think people would rejoice at such a positive thing Nux had done.
Yes! You would think that everyone would rejoice at such a nice thing Nux has done. You would think so. In fact, people did rejoice. For a few minutes.
Yes, people did initially praise him for this video,
Including VShojo, who praised me for this video.
and VShojo also thanked him, and one of the perpetrators allegedly had their information turned over to the police, but the positive acclamations
Yeah, no, they caught the guy. I want to make this clear. The way I devised it was, I made a tweet the moment I figured out people were doxing VTubers, and I said, hey, someone is masquerading as VShojo, be careful. That was my original tweet. I only made this video after the police was fully aware of the situation and tracked down the doxer. Only after that, because we worked with law enforcement on this, after that happened, I released this video. So, no one was put into danger, from my perspective.
for Nux quickly turned when many of the VShojo VTubers publicly
Yeah, so if you look at these tweets, you'll notice something. When multiple people tell you not to upload something and concerned for their safety, don't do it. Asking for you to take it down because I felt my safety was in trouble. And for you to go to the company, ask for numerous terms and conditions in return, that's not friendship. I'm so disappointed and hurt that you are doing this when you knew full well what was truly going on. Yeah, people were doxing people. We asked you to take it down. We told you we feared for our safety. You didn't care. Yeah, these tweets are still up, by the way, just in case you're not aware. Yeah, no. So I got an insane amount of hate for all this. Now, to be clear, again, VShojo approved my video. I was not asked to not remove the video. I think that's the major point here. VShojo didn't tell me not to upload it. In fact, they even thanked me. And I don't really think anyone's safety was in trouble at this point. Which is why I only released the video after they actually caught the guy.
I mean, logically, it shouldn't have been. You know, they caught the guy. The police did their work. Nux was coordinating with VShojo. The only reason why this next part happens is because it made VShojo look really, really bad. The fact that they were negligent, the fact that they couldn't solve the situation on their own, and an external VTuber, somebody who's not signed with the organization but collaborates with a lot of their talent, is the one solving the issue. And it's almost like, what's the point of having this organization if they can't even do their job in the most important parts?
But anyway, you can see why people definitely started attacking me for this stuff. We feared for our safety. That's pretty insane. That was a wild situation. And by the way, to be clear here, I just want to elaborate a little bit. Asking for you to take it down because I felt my safety was in trouble, and for you to go to the company and ask for numerous terms and conditions in return, that's not friendship. Can I give you the context here? The context here, because I never actually mentioned this in public, the context here was one of the VShojo people essentially slandered me, saying that I was asked not to upload the video, which is not true. I was never asked not to upload the video. And one of the VTubers slandered me and said that I was asked not to upload the video. I did anyway, knowing that it would put them in danger. Not true. Then I was asked, hey, they're now asking to take down the video. And what the terms and conditions that I asked for, by the way, that they're saying, I said the terms and conditions that I'm asking for are retract the statement that I was asked not to upload the video and apologize to me, and I will take down the video. That is literally what I said. There were no personal details in that video.
criticised Nux for making a video on the topic with allegations levied against him of being a clout chaser.
Yeah, so this was the original message that came out. And I said, if she deletes this message, I will take down the video. Because this is slander. That is basically what I said. A perfectly reasonable thing.
And potentially putting them in danger.
Yeah, so saying numerous terms and conditions, my terms or conditions was delete your post about me and correct the record. That's all I wanted. But anyway.
With the fact that many of the VShojo team had apparently told him not to make the video.
That's a lie. That didn't happen. That's not true.
But he did so anyway, and many of them just wanted the video removed, in which it was.
So in my opinion, the reason why they wanted the video removed, this is, I have a few opinions, but one of the main reasons is VShojo looked really terrible.
Exactly. Like I said, VShojo looked horrible. It's insane company negligence. The fact that they're putting their talent under such risk. The fact that they're putting innocent people under such risk. Because of phishing scam, that is extremely damaging. Well, how do I know? Well, when my YouTube channel got hacked like a month ago, the reason it got hacked was because my twin brother Smear fell for a phishing scam. And just because my Gmail was logged into his computer for one instance, it got me too. Phishing scams are terrible. They can have pretty long-lasting effects. So the fact that a company put their talent and innocent people in this type of position, it's so negligent, it's so bad. And yeah, they threw Nux under the bus to just save face.
I released a video that essentially, it was definitely to raise awareness of something going on, but VShojo looked awful. The fact that they were kind of covering up that there was someone going around using their name to dox and swat people, and they were doing nothing about it, not even raising awareness about it. So it definitely made them look pretty bad. I think that that's one of the major reasons. There's another reason that I don't want to tell you because I don't want to get other people involved in this drama, but yeah.
3 days later. Now it's important to note that within the video, none of the VShojo members were mentioned directly. The only other VTuber mentioned in the video was Saki, who was the victim that got swatted, and in fact responded positively to the video being made. So the only way this would put VShojo talent in danger would be inspiring other people to do the same. But VShojo knew about it. Even one of the members was in the Discord with the cybersecurity team and Nux.
Yep.
And once again,
And despite the fact that they were in that chat with me, they still made believe that I was told not to make the video. By the way, to this day, you have people that are like, wasn't Nux doxing people with the VShojo situation? Which is like completely untrue. Like not even grounded in reality a little bit. Yeah, I think this is the...
It kind of rewrites this entire moment because this is like the biggest vindication for Nux. VShojo having this colossal downfall, getting exposed for all the awful stuff that they've done over the past few years. Yeah, Nux, this is a big redemption arc for Nux, so good for you, bro.
Turning point for when people started hating me online. This was such a big deal on Twitter. Essentially, all of the biggest VTubers at the same time came out to cancel me.
And yeah, I will say, after this moment, the increase and rise of Nux hate went up exponentially. Like, yeah, he was a little controversial. Like, yeah, he was a little edgy. People did not hate this guy until this moment transpired. And so, in some sense, you could credit VShojo for the reason why Nux is so hated on Twitter, on YouTube, on, like, everywhere. Because of this one cancellation.
And I'll be real. Bro, when a dude gets canceled by 10 women on the internet at the same time, it doesn't go well for them very often. But anyway, it turns out I was justified with what I was doing, so here I am today.
They thanked him and even provided an official statement at the end of the video. But it appears the VShojo talent were not informed about this at all, hence why a lot of them were denouncing Nux's video. And to make things worse...
Whatever, I don't release private information, so I don't want to release any private information. Obviously, there is more context here that actually I think makes it worse. Corpus Electi, thanks for the sub.
VShojo management deleted their thank you to Nux, and then went with a narrative that they always told him never to make the...
Which is such a crazy move. They deleted their thank you tweet, and then they made a post saying, we never wanted him to upload the video.
It's crazy. It's actually insane.
Bro, come on, bro. You really thought that would work?
That's why when they did this stuff to Iron Mouse, I wasn't surprised. This company was always evil, in my opinion. They were always acting maliciously. They were always acting within their best interest, not the interests of the people they interact with. And so, when you create that type of culture, when you create that type of negativity and toxicity, your downfall is all but inevitable.
Video, and everyone proceeded to pile on Nux.
Yeah, I got
now, if you've
crazy
been
hate.
stunlocked, it's no surprise all of this is very confusing, but to break this down for you like SpaghettiOs, this is basically a tale of poor communication, where
It's a good analysis. It's missing some Royal. Maybe let me hold on. Let me actually message Royalties here or follow him on Twitter or something. It's a good analysis. It's missing some Royal. Maybe let me hold on. Let me actually message Royalties here or follow him on Twitter or something, because I would give him behind the scenes details for sure. As long as he doesn't leak it. Royalty is here. So far, it's a great video, by the way. Just saying. No.
the one VShojo member that was in the group apparently. The VShojo team thought they communicated directly to Nux that they didn't want this video to be made.
Yeah, that's not true.
Only 2 instances.
Nux was a threat to VShojo? No. That's not what I said, and if that is what I said, that's not what I meant. Not the company as a whole. This was mostly on a much more individual basis. Some people were not exactly big fans of me.
One before.
Again, this is water under the bridge. I have no enemies. Just want to make this clear. I have no enemies, bro. No enemies.
Or he even started the video, and 2, when they were actively helping him with the video.
Yeah, they actively helped me with the video. They gave me information, even. I gave them info. They gave me info. They told me things to remove and change, which I did listen to. Yeah, no.
Yeah, where they didn't tell him directly to not make the video.
They told... Wait. They didn't just tell me not... They didn't tell me not to make the video. They said, all right, I am not saying this as a criticism of whether you should do a video. That is entirely your right to do. So as a victim, talking about me, the victim of the guy trying to swap people, and we don't have a problem with that. All right, that's not saying don't upload the video, bro. That's saying go for it, do what you like, you're the victim.
Yeah, exactly. They gave him consent to make the video. They were with him through every step of the process. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that they were, you know, this involved with Nux. And then once the situation got too big for them, they're like, no, we're innocent. This is all Nux. You know, he's trying to bring us down. He's trying to ruin our organization. Like, what the fuck? It's so weird. It's so weird, and it's such a bad way to run a business.
That is what he said. This is the cybersecurity officer of VShojo.
And even thanked him for it. But when the VShojo talent had problems with it, they then withdrew their thanks. And once again reinstated their stance they never wanted him to make this video.
Of course.
Despite once again being informed and having some part in it. They also expressed concerns about the one person he called a fan, who was the one that told him they were leaking the fake information.
That was the craziest thing in their response to me, by the way.
That they were a part of the attack and could be feeding him misinformation.
That was the craziest part. Part of my video was like, a fan leaked me this Discord call, and their response was, it might not have even been a fan! Maybe it was an enemy making believe they're a fan that leaked you this Discord call. And it's like, okay, and? Why does that matter at all? So? Yeah, that was wild. I was very shocked that was like part of their debunk of me. Anyway, by the way, I didn't respond to their debunk. They ended up coming back with that statement. I never responded. The internet tore it apart. I didn't want to continue the drama because, again, it ended up getting friends of mine involved, which is the shittiest thing for sure.
That is the bare bones of what happened, and Nux was facing a mountain of backlash for it, even though his heart was in the right place and he did inform the group. I just wanted to bring light to this situation to prevent any further victims. He kind of just got thrown under the bus due to an apparent miscommunication.
Apparent.
With him and the cybersecurity and management.
It was definitely an intentional miscommunication. They intentionally put Nux into this position. They realized how bad that they looked, and they just tried to save their own skin. That's about it. But, you know, once information came out, all the people at VShojo, all the VTubers, well, most of them, they did reach out to Nux, they did apologize. But unfortunately, things weren't really the same after that, because Nux never collabed with these guys en masse ever again. VShojo essentially blacklisted Nux from having any of their talent work with them, on top of the fact that Nux just became pretty controversial, so... But wow, it's such a crazy situation. And that's why this downfall is expected, because, you know, you do all these really malicious, evil things in the background, behind the scenes, you treat your talent and like dirt, you exploit them, you cheat, you manipulate. These things will eventually come to light, and that's what's happening right now.